though. So Great knows about this two queens. Queens, of course, very fast, so it can really fly around very quickly. And I also saw the fact that Zero did have Armor 1 upgrades. I'm not quite sure whether Great has the same. Meanwhile, now going to be engagement. Great does mean you have Armor 1 upgrades as well. But now finally Zero going to come in here from the back. Snares goes off on the Mutalisks. So we're going to see whether he's going to give Zero the edge or not. I'm not quite sure. He seemed to have a large number of Mutalisks. There's queens coming in again as well. Oh my God, so look at that. And Snares, I think it was that a Parasite or something in there? But Great still staying in there, everyone engaging everything. That Spore Colony trying to come up because they did go down, and Great still being persistent, still trying to do it here. Zero still managing to fight some of this back, still also reinforcing, putting down another creep colony, trying to fight back at the very least, and Snare has meanwhile gone down, so no Ensnare for him. He needs to get his queens back into the game. Desperate trying to fight back. Great still doing a great job of staying in there, just trying to kill as much as he can, but now a Spore Colony is up, so that's going to be enough to force him back. Oh, if it hadn't been for those queens, it would have been in a lot of trouble. And Carapace 2 now on those mutas. Knows he has to be careful. Hydra Den. Whoa. Oh my God. I might have just popped on the ZVZ of the season. Oh my God, this is going to be awesome. Greater Spire and white people in the crowd. Definitely best game ever. And the Coke bottle we had looks different than the Coke bottles I have in this country. Not that it actually matters. But additional hatchery being put down. Hydra Den, Natural Expo, Great on 3 bases now, putting on an Evo Chamber and a Creep Colony on his own base. On the opposite side, we do see Zero still staying on 2, so economically he's in a bad position. He also lost a few drones, I think, in that engagement. Or lots of mining, definitely. And, he's just trying to get that tech going. Has Devourers out there at this point. Getting some Devourers, so they're going to give him a lot of damage. But now at this point, his opponent's going for ground forces. Dear sweet Jesus. Going to see Hydras out there. This is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Zero going to have to get himself a new base going very soon. Going to have to get working on that before he's too late. Because one single Muta flying around there, maybe trying to get in a scout, but several Devourers lagging behind those Mutas and Queens. But very interesting army. Zero, meanwhile, trying to get some more drones out there, trying to get the drone saturation. Not really. Great doesn't really have full drone saturation at all of his bases. His secondary is not really fully saturated. Oh, Queen almost getting caught by a Scourge instead the Scourge just dies. But that Hydra Den, bunch of Spore Colonies also for Great. Has Spore Colonies all over with those ground forces being up. He definitely wants that. He's going to start working on those upgrades. If he's going to go for Hydras, you need speed and range, definitely. With aerial forces flying all over the place, he's going to need that. But this is going to be reaching another Creep Colony, so probably going to be seeing some more Spore Colonies all over the place. Great wants to be damn well sure that nothing comes at him. Now Zero going to start expanding at this Wilcock position. And I am just, wow. I mean, yeah, of course, King of the Queens. Zero really loves his queens. He brings them out at the most interesting of times, I must admit. And this is definitely one of the most interesting times. This is, could be insanely interesting. Still to see Scourge flying in here. Almost picking something off the Mutalisks in time. I think I actually got hit by one Scourge. Even more Scourge being picked off here. Great just kind of going in there, putting down some pressure on them. Still Zero working on his Muta count. Spotting a drone across the map. Got to pick that off. No new bases for Great yet anyway. Scourge coming here. Oof. Unfortunately not hitting something. One of the Queens being hit by a Scourge, I think, but not going down. Queens actually with very little health is going to fly in. And probably going to take it up by either a Spore or a Scourge. Yeah, just trying to fly around. Devour taking some shots off. Being hit by some of the Scourge, though. But staying alive, staying good is fine. Is there going to be final attack? Queen heavily damaged, just flying around. Spotting Hydras, getting a Parasite on one of those. And nothing much else. One of those Devourers almost being picked off by Hydras at the end there. But still not a huge number of forces there for Zero. Now going to move inside the main. Devourers at the front. Going to get a hit on some of those Overlords. Now a few reinforcements here coming in here for Great. That's mostly, getting all of his Mutalisks hit by an Ensnare. Devourers and Mutalisks. I'm not quite sure whether actually Zero has enough of a can. He has enough to one-hit those Hydras with those Mutalisks. So finally going to start getting some drone kills. There you go. Drones, 3 drones. Get some more drones. There's some Spore Colonies there, but he's just going in there. Hydras trying to engage me. I can one-hit Hydras, dude. I'm not afraid of y'all. Still has those Queens in there and Devourers, but Devourers not really getting any hits off. And the Muto is not afraid of these Hydras at all. But we're going to be seeing some more Spore Colonies, so the Mutos might still be forced back by now. But Still Zero just going in there, picking off all those Hydras that are coming up. Just questioning everything that's going on. We do see Great putting down a hive of his own, but just now popping up. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Zero just going to fly into the third spot. A few Hydras there, some spore colonies as well. Going to be forced back because Great does seem to have a superior Muta. Force Devour is going to come in, try to get a few shots off, but Great backing off just in time. You do not want to be hit by those Devourers. That's trouble. 6 o'clock position, a bunch of drones being transferred there beyond the eggs, and additional production hatches. Double freaking Defiler, man. They get spotted by a Scourge, no less, and a Hydra Den. My god, is this going to transition into ground army by any chance? I have no idea. Zero might want to pick up his third when the opportunity presents itself. Great going to pick up the 3 o'clock position. That's a natural expansion at the 4 o'clock base, 3 o'clock. And then snare on those Hydras, make them a much easier target to retreat back, and that's not going to work out too well. Meanwhile, Great also going to be able to get ensnared as you go in the reinforcement trying to get some hits off. Zero just threatening a lot here at the front with those mutalisks not being very maneuverable. It's much harder to micromanage them to get those hits than they're ready to fire also with that micromanage. They're being forced to just kind of fly around and hit normally instead of being micro as they usually are. Great is splitting them up a little bit, but he's actually making them extremely easy targets. The Devourers have been taken down, but he's doing a great job just with those ensnares of picking off everything. Hydra's been picked off at all times, and also the acid spores being extremely annoying on those Mutalisks. Double Defiler on the opposite, double Defiler mound on the opposite side for Great as well. Is this standard play ZVZ? Is this what it's supposed to transition into? Because I somehow doubt that. But seeing ensnares in ZVZ is not something I'd ever thought I would see, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I suppose it was a very good ZVZ played some time ago against Jaedong in yellow, but I never saw that. It just kind of... I was always going to watch it, but I never did. So I don't know, maybe some of that had some of this, and I should have seen it, but didn't. Drone going for the upper left position, being picked up, but now Zerg going to go for an attack here at the front. There's 1 second colony, though, in his way, but he's going to start attacking that. He's going to pick that off, I think. Is he going to manage it or not? Still focusing down on that. Not going to manage to do it, but some of the ensnared Mutalisks of Zeros come in here as well. 1 Defiler, though, getting Consume off, so he's going to be a danger. Getting a Plague off would be, yeah, pretty bad. Getting a Plague off on all of those Mutalisks would be one very big hit, because you're going to lose all of those Mutalisks. So you definitely want to make sure that doesn't happen. And snares are good and all, but plagues, dear God. Oh, plagues are just deadly. 9 o'clock position still coming up, and actually Zero has a scout on that with Overlord, but doesn't seem to be going for that. Meanwhile, he is going to go for the 3 o'clock position for himself and the inside 4 o'clock position. So he's double exporting right now. He knows that base-wise he's been behind for quite a while. He needs to get his economy going. Meanwhile, now going to go with some Zerglings yet again for that Natural Expo. Not really the best position to go for anything, so he's not really going to be able to do much there. Still see Zero there. He's consolidating his forces on the low ground. He has some of his own Defilers. Meanwhile, Zerglings is almost going to be able to get up the ramp. Lurkers also out there now for Great. Nidus Canals, Lurkers, Spores, Sunkens, Mutas, Devourers, which are all dead now. And 1 Muta out there for Great trying to pick off a drone. That's not going to happen with all those Mutas out there. Great also this entire time having the upgrades on the Zero unit, so that's pretty much why you could fight back for so long, having all those upgrades. Also, Nidus Canals out there for Zero. Both players. Oh, this is beautiful. What? Oh, yeah. Ouch. Not quite sure whether Zero went for a plague attack. I think he might have done that. It might have been an accidental plague by Great. Actually, I'm not quite sure whether Zero went for plague because it was first-person view when Zero went for that attack at the upper right position. Not quite sure whether they had plague or not. Great's forces, meanwhile, do have weapons 1 and armor 1 upgrades. Queen sitting there, gonna get picked off by a spore colony. But I'm not quite sure whether Zero's gonna go for this. Actually, gonna plant a lurker here outside. Gonna get a few hits off. No spore still in there. No overlord up there. So a few lurker hits. Zerglings with it. Oh, Dark Swarm gonna come off to protect against those Hydras. But I think Great's actually going to go for an attack at that new inside 4 o'clock position. Going to start surrounding the hatchery and try to pick that off. No attack quite successful at that 9 o'clock. Also Plague off, I think, from Zero on all those buildings. Of course, Plague very, very deadly. You know, on all those buildings. They will eventually go down, my friend. They will eventually go down. So you want to be very careful with that. Very deadly. If Zero went for the attack here at the upper right-hand position on the natural expansion of Grades, he would be able to break some of that with Cracklings. Because I think at this point, both players pretty much sure they have Cracklings. So it's kind of insane. Kind of insane. Zerg is engaging here, but Great not really paying attention to him, so he loses half of his numbers. Still has a lot of queens out there for our friend Zero. And this, oh man, what is gonna happen here? I'm just so flabbergasted this entire matchup. This is all very, very, very insane. Seems like Great's gonna try. Oh, Blake hitting all those Mutalisks! Oh no! Look at Zero's face. Yeah, that's bad. Ooh, that is deadly. That is deadly.